Put me in the game. All that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach, put me in the game.
I'm the best, as you know. And I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the best, as you know. And I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold. For the pack and they know I'm impressive. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking no from my boy heavy. I'm the best, and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching her, but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can pick up when I call her. Working big, and it don't hurt the break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a know it means the know I got him running to it. I'ma need the full amount before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do it. I'm the best, I'm the best.
But seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at US Bank Stadium. Ahead we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. Cousins looking to put it up right away. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Room here to run. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Cousins on first down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he is... Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
That was all Preston Smith. Navigating into the backfield, he gets the tackle for loss. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Oh, there's going to be a little bit of regret there because they certainly had the chance to get off the field here, just giving up a field goal attempt. But they couldn't get that stop on 3rd down. Now they have to hunker down because guess what? That drive continues.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And this play goes nowhere. losing yardage back to the 15. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Now Cousins. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Every possession in the postseason magnified, and look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. His first catch of the divisional round goes for a 1st down. He had 5 catches last week in their wild card win. Here's Rodgers to throw. The left side completion to Jones. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Flush to his right. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like
touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson, 40 yards. And the Packers have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Second down, they go right back to Cook. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Well, when you get an elite running back like he is, sometimes you've got to employ the by any means necessary method to get him down.
Yeah, sometimes you're relieved even if a flag comes out. But if you just get the hand up and you get it on the mask, you can kind of get away with that. But as soon as you curl it around the finger or the hand, that's pretty easy for everyone to see, and they'll call that one every time.
12 yards there, first down Vikings. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play fake. Cousins. They'll roll him out right. And this is incomplete. Well played defensively. Nearly had the interception, but it's second down.
But that was actually throwing game 101 right there. You challenge double coverage like that, you're liable to get burned. Fortunate that was just incomplete.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing is Cousins. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph for Minnesota. Joseph's got it, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1, and I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want a carbon copy. Taking it right down Broadway. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 75 yards. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're kind of searching for that magic elixir. You know, they're moving the football a little bit, but not with any great consistency.
I love that term you just used, elixir, right?
Old school.
Old school. I love that because you don't want to put too much pressure on your defense as well, all right? If you're kicking field goals, that's great, but your defense has to keep going out there and holding the other team. You're not giving them any cushion to work with, and that gets tougher and tougher as the game goes along. Put the ball in the end zone and get sixes. That's the ambrosia that they're looking for.
Ambrosia and trying to erase this deficit. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
On play action, Cousins. Smith catches left side. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Cousins. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Murray. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
But these are the situations that really test a defense's sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Sliding out of the pocket. Finds his tight end Oliver here outright. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. To throw is Cousins. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, here's Cousins. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Rodgers now on first down. Buying time to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
On 2nd and 10, Rodgers. This complete to Jones. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Rodgers again now. Open man left side. It's the tight end, Kenyon. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So it was 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3, but I'm not sure that that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all, but the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us, let us go for it. We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. To throw, Cousins. There's Jefferson to pull that in. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Cousins now to throw on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. To the air again, it's Cousins.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Rasul Douglas picks it,
and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, a trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium, but you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's got some space here.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 116 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers.
Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Zadarius Smith. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers. Jones has it.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A first down from Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Cousins gives way to Cook. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first.
Now Cook hit and he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jalen Smith, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. And nowhere to hide on that play.
No, there was not, because every exit door, that was surrounded. And I think that was supposed to be a bootleg, but he had no chance to get outside the pocket and try and make a play.
After the sack on first down, Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety.
All right, partner, juice is wild on this sequence. 2 plays, 2 sacks, and now 2 points thanks to the safety. Offensively, there just didn't seem to be much of a plan when they came out on attack. That let the defense create a little chaos up front and set up one of their guys to make a play and get through and record the sack.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On 2nd and 12, Cousins. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And this incomplete. Oh, my. He might have been celebrating in the end zone if he'd held on. Nearly picked, but instead, it'll bring up 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now first downs are key. They want to keep that clock moving, up by 2 scores as they try to cement their place in the conference championship round in 1 week's time. 122 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Rodgers now to throw. Man open, here is Jones. On the move past the 40. Down the sideline he goes. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 60 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 9, 2nd and 5. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. They'll run for it with Dillon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A.J. Dillon, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Packers are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this 4th quarter lead. Extra point try now for Crosby. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Cousins to throw it. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Here's Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion, Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Cousins now from the 50. Dalvin Cook now catches on back-to-back plays. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Play action now. Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing, Cousins. Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Packers pick it up.
You've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
137 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
They'll try to run some clock now with Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Dillon on the inside give. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Up the middle, Jones.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. On the counter, here's Jones. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up fourth.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
And on fourth down, they come up and take the knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has three options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football up a triple option, you've actually called that play.
A great run, but, you know, this is probably where the offensive coordinator is saying, geez, we could have used a couple of these earlier in the game.
Hey, he's probably telling the head coach, well, talk to the run game coordinator about that. I just call the plays. We should have had this going right from the beginning.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. From the 2 now, second and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
So that'll do it for us.